I ride the surly long-haul trucker.
I'm currently living in an intentional community.
We fell into the house sitting.
All I have is my van.
Like, their home is where their family is.
Everything has got to have its place.
I carry a chair with me and I have a bed.
It's like a full-time job.
Working up until like 10, 11, 12 at night.
And I've got a little refrigerator.
We like to spend a lot of time in the national forest.
And we're not mowing the lawn and on the weekends, you know.
And that's all I need.
Eat fresh vegetables as much as we can.
I don't even want a TV anymore.
People always ask me like, oh, you must like do a lot of thinking on your bike. And I'm like, not really.
You create a lot of things.
You put your food in here.
Stay young forever.
A journey is personal, and there are many ways to get from point A to B. We've learned that having clearly defined roles helps us make the lifestyle work, get along, and be happy. Corey has been the driver, chef, homemaker, and mechanic. I have generated our income through freelance website development. Our roles have given us a sense of ease in our world of movement on the road. But in this sea of inevitable change, we wondered how would our roles evolve? And what would we learn from other nomads to help us grow on the road?
That's not good.
Hey, Natasha, it's Emily from Where's My Office Now? How are you? Yeah, I'm actually hoping that we can reschedule. We've run into a little bit of van trouble.
So I've been having this an idle problem. When starting up, it doesn't idle. It doesn't come up to idle appropriately. I have to keep my foot on the gas until the car is fully warm. I've never adjusted it, so I don't even know what I'm really listening for. Now I'm gonna track down some mechanics before we leave, make some phone calls, and see if there is a good option.
We limped along to interview our first family at Itchitucknee State Park.
We're really excited to interview Jeff, Natasha, John, and Willa. Hi, good morning.
A lot of people have this hit the road in an RV dream, and we had it.
Now we're at Itchitucknee State Park. We're volunteering here for 2 months.
The key was I had to be able to keep my job and do it on the road. And so I spent a year, a very difficult year, trying to convince my boss of this. I have a full-time job with West Virginia University at their medical school, and I teach online courses.
So we started homeschooling before we left. I kind of wanted to get that routine established. The easy part of homeschooling is that we're all stimulated to learn, and so we're doing it together. School should be fun, and we should all be, enjoying what we're doing together. For me, I felt a huge responsibility. I want to do a good job. I want my kids to be successful. Once I get all worked up and worried about that, I realize that really it's emotional health and the well-being that is more of a measure of success. In today's culture, there is also this huge issue, our disconnect with nature. And the fact that kids don't have the luxury of just unstructured playtime outside. The research says that kind of time promotes self-confidence, emotional health and well-being, decreased risk of obesity and all the problems that come with being overweight. There's so much pressure from other parents to get your kids in as many activities as possible, like as soon as they're born. It gets a little crazy, and we feel like we really opted out of that, and it's okay. It's okay to opt out of this conventional, really busy lifestyle that our culture has manifested.
Ooh, 209. Airstream 237. There's an Airstream over there. So we are headed to go meet Nathan from Wanderly Magazine and his family.
Wanderly Magazine is the name of our online mag for travelers.
So Wilder sleeps in there. And then
that can just come in and out. It's just a playpen. The whole point of Wanderly was just to say, hey, we did this, you can do it.
And that's our bed.
I'm not rich, we're not rich, we don't have anything particularly exceptional about us other than a big desire to travel.
Old bus. Cool being together all the time, and they're just on the same schedule as any other kid. It's just they're doing it on the road.
It's easy for a family to just be separated in a house. And not that that's a bad thing, but I don't think it's a bad thing for us all to be kind of on top of one another a lot too.
Yeah, it's like their home is where their family is. It's not, you know, a certain place. It's just wherever we are all, like they're comfortable with that.
And unschooling is not schooling your children at all, just allowing the world to teach them. Naturally learning throughout your life instead of having specific times of the day and set curriculum, which we're not completely unschooled, but I do think there's something to be said for both homeschooling and the unschooling approach. He was interested in learning Spanish, so we kind of made that one of the things. Talked about wanting to do web design, so we turned that into a program right now. And
I would like to get as small samples of as many things as I can, and then once I get older, know what I want to do and how I want to do things, and you know, the kind of friends that I want to make and stuff like that.
Whenever he was younger, it was different, but you know, when he first needed to learn to read, it was more like a traditional sit down and talk back and forth. But it's kind of gone up and down depending on where we're at and what we're trying to focus on. I think the idea of what it's all about is basically learning to think for yourself instead of just memorizing facts. When you just study everything over and over, you're not learning how to use your brain, you're just learning how to store things inside of it.
So good news is Hugo is the man. Hugo helped us for like probably over an hour.
We're just a small mom and pop shop, try to keep it simple.
Bad news is
low compressions, internal issues with the motor.
Realistically, we're driving on 2 out of the 4 cylinders.
Are you serious?
And there's nothing we can do at this moment to help it. I can bring the idle up a little bit, you know. That's about it.
First it was sunshine, now Basha. Here we were with yet another reminder that nothing is guaranteed, and that we excessively drive vintage vehicles all around the country.
I'm trying to learn all this stuff as I go along though, because you got to when you're driving these things.
Yes you do.
It just means that we gotta drive it really slow and gingerly and let it heat all the way up.
We had spent the last 2 years on the road learning that breakdowns are opportunities in disguise.
I hope it gets us through the project.
But with only a couple of weeks left to interview the rest of the nomads, and with our Kickstarter backers counting on us, it seemed impossible to see the opportunity in Basha's dire diagnosis. Gratefully, we were reminded by the inspiring families that anything is possible.
Sunrise, I wanna stay young forever. I wanna stay young forever. Stay young all night. Hold on to the sunrise. I wanna stay young forever. I wanna stay young forever. Stay young all night. Hold on to the sunrise. I wanna stay young forever. I wanna stay young forever. Stay young all night. Hold on to the sunrise. I wanna stay young forever. I'm gonna stay young forever.